Hi guys, hello. Uh, so my name is Sarah Zia Adeel, and today we are going to be talking about the secret to happiness. Thank you, Anam, for inviting me today to do this webinar for all of you guys. So let me tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Sarah, and I am a full-time baker and founder of a home bakery called Fluff in a Cup. So you must be wondering, why am I here to talk about secret to happiness? So I was very unhappy at one point of time. I was going through a very bad phase, which later on turned out to be diagnosed as clinical depression. So that's when I was very unhappy. I was not able to concentrate. I was not able to do a lot of things which which is normally done by people. So once my treatment got over and I was okay, I started doing my research about happiness and how to make my life more productive and happy. So I started reading up and learning a lot about happiness, and that's how I got my certification done. And I mainly did it to make my life more happier. But today that I'm here, I'll share my points, what has helped me to make my life better. And I hope that would help you as well. So I'm going to show you a slideshow, and I will be talking along with that. So if you guys want to chat, if you guys have any questions, you guys can put it on the chat box and we can discuss all of it. So we're here with our topic, secret to happiness. So what is the secret to happiness? Do you guys have any idea whether there is a clear-cut way to be happy? Well, I would say it's more of a process, a journey, rather than a switch that can be turned on and turned off. So there are, there are a lot of things that we have to practice on a daily basis and cultivate within ourselves to have a more productive and happier life. So I'm going to talk about the 5 traits that can make you a happier person. So I'm going to begin. So here's a little quote. Gratitude. What is gratitude? Being grateful for the life you have. So it helps you, practicing gratitude helps you fall in love with the life you already have. So we are going to talk more about this. So let's get started. So, like I said, happiness is not a switch that can be turned on and turned off as we wish. It is something that has to be inculcated. So, moving on to the traits, 5 character traits that will make you a happier person. So, these 5 traits have helped me. Number one being courage, patience, gratitude, love, and forgiveness. Let's begin with courage. You must be wondering why I'm talking about courage here. So, when we are scared to face a problem or a situation or a specific person who is uh, not being nice to us, it diminishes our happiness. So, that's exactly why we have courage as number one point. We should be able to be strong enough and courageous enough to face that situation or face that group of people that make us unhappy. And that's the only way we can move towards happiness. Second comes in patience. So just think about it. We want our life to be in complete control. If something goes wrong here and there, we become irritated, we become unsure, we become cranky, including me. I i want my life to go in control, but sometimes that doesn't happen. So the second thing coming in would be patience. We have to be patient. We cannot be impatient and say, life should go like this, like this, like this. What if it doesn't? What if we lose control? So we have to be patient with life. Only then will we be able to have a happier and a more peaceful life. Then comes in gratitude. We are going to talk a lot about gratitude. So I'm just going to give you a very little gist currently. So, gratitude is being grateful, finding the little good in the bad, because we all go through bad experiences. So, gratitude will help us find the little good that is there in all our bad experiences. Then comes in love. So, imagine a life without love. I'm not just talking about the love which is there in a relationship. I'm talking about all kinds of love, whether it's from your family, whether it's from your siblings, uh, your friends, your spouse. In my case, from my child. So all the kind of love. Just having a very ravishing life will not give you happiness. You need love in that happiness. And then finally, we move on to forgiveness, which is a little difficult for me personally. I'm not very good at forgiving people, but I'm trying to cultivate that happiness within me. So, what I've realized is that when we don't forgive a person, we are the ones who struggle more than the person who we are not able to forgive. If someone has wronged us, we keep thinking that, oh, that person has done this, that person has done this to me, done that to me. We keep thinking about it, and we are not able to concentrate on our lives fully. So, forgiveness is very important. We have to learn to forgive the person for ourselves. I'm not saying forget whatever that person did to you, no, but draw your boundary, but forgive that person for your own sake. And that is something I'm still working on because I'm not very good at it. I'm working on it. And I hope these 5 character traits help you too to become a happier person. It's not easy. I'm not saying that this is going to happen overnight. It's not going to happen overnight. You have to cultivate this on a daily basis with small things that you do in life. And then, trust me, life is going to get better. It's going to be more peaceful, and you're going to find the contentment that you guys are waiting for. We are moving on to our first topic, gratitude. Being grateful for the things that we have and for the things we don't have. So, just think about it. When we get something new, when we are when we get a gift, or when we get something new, when we have a promotion, when there is a new relationship coming into our life, we are thankful. We say thank you for giving me this. We feel grateful from inside. But do we feel the same thing when there is a bad situation? No, right? So just imagine if I say this, oh my God, I have a headache. I'm so thankful for it. It won't happen, will it? No. Oh my God, I just had a breakup. Uh, I'm thankful for it. Maybe in the future you may say, oh my God, thank God I had that breakup. But at that moment, you will not be grateful for it. So we have to learn to inculcate gratitude and being grateful for it during the bad situations. That is what we're going to learn about today. A little bit, whatever I know. So, first we'll be trying to find gratitude with difficult people. I'm sure we all have that kind of people in our lives who make life a little miserable, who don't say anything kind, who put you down. So how do we practice gratitude with them? So I would say, little by little, let's, when something like that comes up, let's think about the positive people, the people who empower us. Let's think about them. So we'll be happy that, okay, we have that kind of people too in our lives. So we'll be grateful for the good people in our life and not think too much about the difficult people. Then, how many of you complain? I do a lot. So finding gratitude when we complain. So, for example, you have a lot of things to do, and you're just like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Will I be able to do this? And you just keep complaining, cribbing about it. But instead, let's try to shift it and say, I'm thankful that I have this to do in my life. What if I did not have it? So that's how you shift from something that is bad to something that's good. You're grateful for something that's there in your life. Then comes in being grateful for during painful times. Like, for example, when you lose your job, when you come across a loss of a loved one, or when, I don't know, maybe you guys would relate it when I say during a breakup. It's a bad time. How can you be grateful at that point of time? So at that time, just think about, at that time, at that moment, you will not feel grateful, okay? You will not at all feel grateful. But later on, you will be happy and grateful about the fact that that difficult situation made you a better person, made you a happier person. So that is what gratitude is all about. Gratitude is trying to inculcate and trying to cultivate a sense of gratefulness when things are wrong. When things are right, yes, we are all very grateful. We are all very happy. But when things go wrong, trying to cultivate gratitude at that point of time is very important. And every day, I would say, try and keep a gratitude journal. It really helps. Like, I've read it in a lot of places, keep journals, start journaling. But once I started doing it myself, that's when I realized that it actually helps. Write down every, if not every day, at least weekly, at the end of the week, try and write down a journal on what you're thankful for, the good and the bad. And then you can read it for yourself. It's kind of like an accountability that you have once you write it down. And then you will feel better in life. So that is all about gratitude and feeling grateful for your life. Because, guys, there's only one life. You have to live it in the best way possible. Sometimes when you're too sad, it is difficult, but you have to find ways and try out ways to become gratitude and grateful in life. So now moving on to self-love. How many of you love yourself? How many of you say that dialogue from Jab We Met, मैं अपनी favorite हूँ? It is something that it's very difficult to love yourself, because that is something that you should condition your mind from the time you're very young. So I would like to correlate self-love, self-acceptance, and self-contentment together. These were like the three topics that were given, and I'm going to club that in and talk about all of it together. So, self-love. What is self-love to you? For me, it is accepting my flaws. I am flawed. So it is accepting the little flaws that I have. Like, for example, from the time we're young, we are teenagers, we have a habit of complaining and telling, oh my God, I have an acne. Oh my God, I've put on weight. Do you think I've put on weight? Do you think I'm not pretty enough? I'm not good enough? So from the time we're young, when we get into our teenage, that's when we are the most vulnerable. We we try to convince our mind that we are not lovable. That who will love us? Why should anyone love us? That's because we don't love ourselves. We should learn to love ourselves because that is the most important thing towards happiness. If you don't love yourself for who you are, regardless of what size you are, what color your skin is, whether you have acne or not, the way you talk, you are made uniquely and you cannot compare yourself to another person. I have an issue with body image. I am very insecure because from the time I was young, I was always on the heavier side. I don't think I was ever on the other side. So I was always very, very, very insecure about my body. Uh, Still, I have those moments, but I keep trying to tell myself that, it's okay. Just think about the good. Just think about the good. Just think about the good. So, loving yourself has to come from within because nobody is going to love you as much as you love yourself. And for example, uh, we've tried to find happiness from outside. Why do we do that? It's because we don't love ourselves enough. If we love ourselves enough, we wouldn't need someone else to make us happy, someone else to tell us that you're beautiful or you're lovable, because you can say that to yourself, right? So learn to love yourself even during the worst times of your life. If you're crying, cry. Because crying is also a part of self love, it's a part of expressing your emotion. So that is also self care, self love. It comes under that. So even when you're at your worst, just think about it that you are going through the situation and you're going to evolve. You're going to become a much better person. So, self love is doing little things for yourself. I'm not saying go overboard and go for a massage or anything. No. What I'm saying is that the little things that you do for yourself, self talk, keep telling yourself that I am lovable, I am worthy of love, people love me for who I am. Keep telling yourself that. Because, see, will you say wrong things to your friends or your loved ones? No, right? You won't. So, why say the same things to yourself? Whatever has happened in the past, okay, can be rewritten. You can rewrite your own story. Starting today, if you're feeling that I'm not lovable or um, I'm not good enough, start today. Start to rewrite your story. Don't think about what has happened in the past because that you cannot change. Other people's opinions. I'm coming to that now. Other people. The people who have to judge for everything. The people who are here to ruin our lives. I'm not even joking. There are so many people, like I had a very bad acne prone skin. So I'm just giving you an example here. There were people who used to come up and say, oh, you've got acne. So I'm like, it comes into my mind. I keep telling myself, oh, can't you see? I say that inside, but then I start crying. I feel bad about it. Like, why is anyone coming and saying that to your face? Or else another kind of people will be like, you know what? I had this friend, they tried this for their acne, and now it's all good. So they won't directly tell you that, okay, you have acne, but they will give you like other things to say and other things to do. They will say, this person did this, that person did that, and they'll make you feel worse. You're not going to feel better in any way. So other people, what they say, their opinions don't matter. They don't know you as much as you know yourself. Who knows your story the best? You. Who knows what's going inside you? You. So, what others say, what others think about you is none of your business. You don't have to care about because they don't even know what they are saying. They are saying what they perceive you to be, not who you are. So, if you are affected by something that someone else is telling you, just forget it. Just don't think about them because they are not worth it. They will have their own insecurities that they are not able to deal with, and they are trying to put that onto you. So don't think about other people because their opinions don't matter to you. Now, if you stop thinking about other people, you will live a more contented life. I'm not even kidding. So accept and acknowledge your own worth. Stop waiting for others to tell you on how important you are, because you are worth it. You don't have anybody. You shouldn't have anyone else to tell you that who you are and what you are. Now we're moving on to the next part of self contentment and self acceptance. Self acceptance is very closely related to self love, so I won't be going too much into that. But self contentment. When I do you guys tell this to yourself that when I'm rich, I'm going to do this, I'm going to be very happy. When I finish my college, I am going to live the best life ever. When I buy this car, I'm going to be the happiest. Really? How are you so sure that you are going to reach that future? Your future is so uncertain. You don't even know what's going to happen tomorrow. Then how can you say that when that happens, I will be happy? We all have this tendency to believe that we will be happy when we reach a certain stage. But that's not true. It's very uncertain. Our future is very uncertain. Our past is completely gone. What we have now is today. So we have to create and feel happiness in the moment we are in. And that's the now. Because future we don't know. We don't know if you will be able to get that money. We don't know if you will be able to get that job you want. Or sometimes it's said that when you get married you'll be happier. How do you know? Happiness is something that you cultivate within yourself. You should be contented with yourself. Nobody else is going to make you feel happy, or your partner is not going to make you happy. If you're not happy from within yourself, your relationship is also not going to work. You shouldn't depend on another person to make you happy. So contentment is basically who you are and where you are at the given moment, finding that peace and finding that contentment, accepting it. So just pause and just think for 2 minutes. Are you happy where you are? Or are you happy with your own being? Or are you just thinking that if I do this, I'll be happy. If I do that, I'll be happy. Just think about it for 2 minutes. I hope you've given it a good thought about whether you are self contented and whether you accept yourself for who you are. Now we're moving on to our next part, which is embracing positive thinking. Is it difficult to think positive sometimes when you're in a very bad situation? It is, right? Sometimes. So, positive thinking doesn't mean that you're only going to think about happy things. No. Positive things in life will also be accepting the unpleasantness that come into your life, the bad things that come into your life, and then overcoming that in a positive and a productive way. That's how you do positive thinking. You have to keep telling yourself that, good is going to happen. Bad, no. We're going to say that we're going to tell ourselves, we're going to train our mind, because all of this is about training your mind and conditioning your mind and telling yourself that what is going to happen from now on is going to be good. It's not going to be bad. We are going to be happy in what we are, in the situation we are in. We are going to be happy. You have to condition, you have to keep talking to yourself that, I'm going to be happier, more, I'm going to embrace positive thinking. You have to take some time out for yourself. There are a few things, like, for example, you have to think about yourself because you cannot pour from an empty cup, right? So you have to take care of yourself. Try and think positive thoughts, and that's the only way you can embrace positive thinking. Try out a new hobby, try out a little bit of any kind of a workout which brings your endorphins up, like dancing, working out, whatever makes you happy. I wouldn't say go for a full on gym session. If you like it, then please go ahead. But otherwise, just anything that pumps you up, that gives you the energy. Take out maybe, say, around 15 minutes for it. It will really change your mindset and the way you think. And that's how you embrace positive thinking. Because positive thinking in today's world, especially when there is so much negativity going around, it's very difficult as a human being to be positive. It's very difficult for us to even think, because with all the scenario that's going around in the world, our future in itself is very uncertain. One day at a time, think positive. Think about the small things. Like, take one day, you do one little thing for yourself, or a little thing that makes you happy. Like, for example, if you have a gardening, if you can just simply read a book and not do anything else with a cup of coffee, that's my favorite. A book and a cup of coffee. It just not too long or anything. Half an hour, 15 minutes, it'll get you into a positive mood. Some solitude and some quiet always helps you. So that's how you will be embracing your positive thinking. Okay? And then comes in the time when you have to deal with bad times, when you're sad. We're going into the more sad and the more upset times that we all go through. So, sadness. How do you deal with sadness? Is it something that you're able to do it easily, or is it something that you need help with? So, sadness can be anything. It can come from an unhappy event, it can come when people disappoint you or when things go wrong. And if we don't deal with sadness at the right time, it can lead to depression. And that's exactly what happened to me. I did not recognize that depression was coming to me. And that's why I didn't deal with it the right way. And hence, I went into depression. So, the number one thing I would say to deal with sadness would be to express. Cry. Cry your heart out. Vent. Talk. Because if you bottle up your feelings inside you, you'll just be, at the end of it, you'll burst. Because you are a human being with a multitude of emotions, and you cannot keep everything inside. If you're feeling sad, take it out. Talk to a person. Don't keep it inside you, because that is not going to help you in any way. If you have a friend or a family member who you can trust, or if not a family member or a friend, if you want to go like a more professional way, a therapist, a counselor, go to them, talk to them about it, cry, do some, just take it all out, because once you've done that, you'll feel a whole lot better. And then do something that you love, a little bit, whatever you want to do, something that makes you happy. For me, I would go into baking. For me, baking is my stress buster. It helps me calm my anxiety a lot. So that's why I had done like a series called Bake for Joy, which uh, mixed in being bringing in joy through baking. So I did that with my family members, something different from the usual. And it was fun baking with your family. It really helped ease my anxiety a lot. So do something that you like. For many, it'll be music. You can sing. For many, it will be dance. So whatever you like to do, go for it. Do it. Take it one day at a time. Whenever you're feeling overwhelmed, sad, don't think, oh my God, what am I going to do after this? My life is ruined. I'm done. I'm over. No. Think about that day. Think about that moment. And then we'll take it from there. Then we'll go forward when we're dealing with sadness. Don't think too much and worry about, how you're going to do it, what you're going to do, and all of that. One day at a time, deal with that day's issues, finish that, move to the next day. Go slow. There is no rush. You're not running a competition to find that happiness goal. No. Slow and steady, but do it in a nice way. Give yourself some time and permission to heal. If you've gone through a very rough patch, it's very important to give yourself time to heal and to feel better about your own life. So there is no rush. If you're sad, be sad. Accept it. Realize that you're sad. Don't try to brush it away. Don't try to um, do something to just cut it off. Like some might smoke, some of them might drink, them might do drugs. These are all how you run away from your sadness. We are not here to run away. We are here to face it and to fix it. So if you are sad, face it, fix it, give yourself time to heal and the permission to heal. And lastly, be grateful for the sadness that you have. Because with this sadness, after this passes, you will be a much stronger and a much better person. Yeah. So you would have faced a problem that is new to you and you would have moved forward. So you will be grateful for that uncertain, the sad time that you had. It makes you a stronger and a better person. So you have to be grateful for that. So that is what dealing with sadness was all about. Now, there were these two questions which I got from Anam, and I think I had covered a few earlier with the last slides, but these two, how do you deal with opinions of people, I told you about. But if you guys have any more questions, you can put it into the chat box. This one, does money buy you happiness? That is something that is a very, what do you call it? A very debatable question. So we need money for survival. Of course, we need it. But when we put in our happiness into money, like for example, if I get that car, if I get that house, if I get that bag, if I get all the luxuries of life, will I be happy? No, you may not be. Money cannot buy you happiness. Money can give you a very temporary satisfaction. Yes, it will. It will make you feel happy for that. It's called instant gratification. You become happy for that little time. But after that, you go straight back into the mood you were in. So money cannot buy you a lifelong time of happiness. Money can only give you a temporary satisfaction, a temporary time to, feel happy from within. So money does not buy you happiness. We just saw something that happened 2 days back where a very big celebrity gave up because of depression. So he had depression, right? He had money also. But what I'm trying to say here is that money, fame, luxuries cannot give you happiness. Happiness is something that you have to cultivate from within. It's a journey, guys. It's not something that happens like this. It doesn't. So You guys have to inculcate and cultivate that journey slowly, steadily, and I'm sure that you will be able to go through it. But I want to specify on one thing, that is, before I end the session, if any of you are feeling sad or if any of you are not feeling too good, seek help. I got a little late when I figured that I had clinical depression. I I got help with therapy and with medication, but I figured it a little later. But what I'm saying is, if you're feeling sad, talk to someone, bring it all out, seek help from a professional, a therapist, or a psychiatrist, however you want it to work like. But if you are not feeling good, please seek help, because that's the only way you can live a much productive life. In India, it's a taboo. If you say, I have depression, people may think, oh my God, something is wrong with her. But no, we are all human beings with emotions. If you have figured out that there is something wrong with you, and if you are going to work towards it, you are very strong. You're actually opening up. You're actually able to express yourself to another person and say, you know what, there's something wrong with me. So if you are sad, seek help. Happiness will come. Trust me, guys. I have been there, I have been through the worst, and if you asked me 2 years back that I would be here giving you a talk on secret to happiness, I would have laughed and told myself, me, really. But today I'm really happy that I'm here and I'm able to help you guys with the little bit that I know. So get help, guys. We are all work in progress. We are all learning new things and becoming better every single day. We are not perfect. So happiness is also like that. It's a slow process, but trust me, you're going to get there and you're going to be happy. So now I'm done with my presentation. If you guys have any anything to talk about, to discuss, we can do that.
Uh, yeah, thank you, Sarah. Indeed, happiness is enjoying the little things in life. Being
Yeah.
happy doesn't mean everything is perfect. It means you've decided to look beyond the imperfections of this world. So now we head to the next segment, the question and answer session. You could type your questions in the comment box, or you could unmute your speaker and initiate it yourself.
I think there is one question. Um,
You want me to read that out, Sarah?
no, I was just reading that. I'll read
Uh,
it out.
yeah, okay,
Uh,
fine.
there are some people who are always optimistic and happy, and I'm kind of a pessimist. I frown upon such people because everyone has problems and you just can't be so happy. How do I change this mentality of mine? How do you know that that person is an optimist just because they are smiling and laughing? No, right? Maybe they also have their own problems. So always treat people with kindness. You don't know what that person is going through. So you cannot say that they are optimist. Maybe they also have problems. They're just laughing and smiling and talking good things and saying all happy things. Just so that maybe you're feeling pessimist, but they might also be feeling sad about something. So be kind. Try to uh, inculcate that thing of being kind towards them as well, because they might also go through something which we don't know about. So I would say just be a little more kinder to them, and you'll be able to change that mentality of yours. uh, I hope that helped, Pranav. uh, what to do if you're not happy with the place you're working at, but it's one of the best places and you don't have any other options available? This can be a little difficult because we all have, like how I said about dealing with difficult people, you'll have difficult situations as well. But now that you don't have another option of doing anything else, or um, that's the only thing, that's the only option that you have, I would say try to look at the positives that's there in that workplace. Like maybe you have your friends, maybe you have someone you talk to. um, Try to look at the little things that is there in that workplace that can make you happier. And just think about it, like, after like maybe 1 year, I'm going to leave this job and do something that I love. So just think of it like that and move forward. If you keep thinking that I'm not happy, I'm not happy, I'm not happy, you're just going to be more unhappy. So I'll just say that look at what makes you a little, I'm sure there'll be at least one or two things that make you happy. So just try and focus on that. So I hope that helped. Okay. If we had some fight, like unforgettable one, though I forgive them, I'm not able to be the same with them. Is that any bad on me, or am I normal? Or should I really be like the same as we were before, although I'm unable to be? I have gone through a very similar situation like this. If you have a fight with someone, it's very difficult to go back to the normalcy that you had. Um, you will not, there's nothing wrong with you, trust me, there's nothing wrong with you. uh, you can forgive them for your good, for your happiness. Forgive them so that you're calmer and you're nicer, and you don't have that thought going inside you that um, I'm not able to forgive them. It's not constantly on your mind. But what I'm saying is forgive them, but draw your boundary. If you can cut them off from your life, cut them. But if you can't, if it is an unavoidable situation, keep them in your life with boundaries. Draw your boundaries, and you'll be good to go. Don't worry so much about this. You'll get over this very soon. I have been through a very similar situation. You don't have to be the same with them. Trust me, you don't have to. You can draw your boundaries and let them know that they have wronged you. There's nothing wrong with you. I hope that helped. Whatever I do, I just feel I'm good for nothing. How to change? So you have to identify on, are you feeling this constantly? Are you feeling that you're sad, and do you have too many negative thoughts? If that's the case, I would suggest you to go and see a therapist, because that will really help. When I was not feeling very good about myself, I did that. I went in for therapy. So I was not, I just like how you're saying that you didn't feel good about anything. I would say that just go for it and try therapy. Try talking to someone who's much more of a professional. And I'm sure that will help you in all the way possible, because it helped me. So I'm sure it will help you too. Not able to concentrate, it's just increasing the negativity and distance. Okay, so this is the continuation of the question from Saloni for the workplace. I would say if you're not able to give your best at work, try and find some happiness at home, something that makes you happy. Don't dread about going to work. If this is like your ultimate thing, if you had another choice, I would say go quit your job. But I wouldn't say that, because you don't have another choice. Try to find something happier at home, and then maybe you'll it'll be easier for you to concentrate on work. Like, find your support system and ask them that, you're not feeling too good about this. What do I do? If you have someone who you can talk to on a daily basis about all the wrong things that's happening and what you're not feeling good about, then maybe it'll help you. So try to find something happy at home and don't think too much about work. So I hope that's helpful. Are there any more questions? How do you deal with peer pressure? So peer pressure is something that's, just a second. Peer pressure. So many of you must have experienced peer pressure. Like, we desire to fit in, we desire to be accepted and respected by people. There are people who ask you to do something, and or sometimes they might force you. Sometimes they might jokingly say something like, oh, you are not going to do this. So you feel that pressure that you want to fit in with those kind of people. So a few things that I would like to say that would help you. And peer pressure is not only in school and college, okay? It happens even after that when you're at work, family. There are a lot of things. So, one would be to draw your boundaries with the people who are trying to force you into things that you don't want to do. Secondly, you have to recognize whether that person is tricking you into that situation, or if that person is forcing you, you have to recognize that. Three would be to delay the tactic. Like, if someone is telling you, come, let's go for this and let's have this, you just say, can I just call you back? Can I call you later? So that's how you delay it. You delay that thing of going for that event. And then sometimes you cannot avoid it, and then you can just say something like, not today, I'm not feeling too good to get out today, maybe some other time. Always listen to your gut feeling and just realize that what you're feeling deep inside, that's what is true, and you got to accept that and move forward. And there are a lot of people who cannot stand up for themselves as well. So if you have that thing to support them, then support them, stand up for them. That's what I would like to tell you. Or take help, talk to people, to your friend, your family, and tell them on what you're feeling. So I hope that helped how to deal with peer pressure. We will be happier about people and surroundings, but if they hurt at the time, how to cope with them again? What do you think about sudden mood swings and how to tackle them? Yes, if someone hurts you, it's very difficult to love them back again and to get back into that same kind of a mode with them, like how I said earlier. So you cannot um, get back to normal. Some people can, I can't personally. So I draw my boundaries, and I keep my relationships, but I keep it with boundaries. So that is how you can cope up. You can keep the relationship, but draw your boundary. What do you think about sudden mood swings and how to tackle it? Mood swings happen to all of us. There are times when we are extremely happy. There are times when we are extremely sad. There are times when we want to cry. Whatever you're feeling, feel it. Don't run away from it. If you're feeling bad, feel bad about it. Do little things that make you feel happier. Like, for example, if you're feeling really sad, what is the one thing that you like to do, that you like to um, that will take you out of the sadness? Yeah. So try and do that, and try and experience that. And I'm sure if you do something little for yourself at that time, you'll feel a lot better. So And if you feel that your mood swings are all it's there all the time, then you can ask someone for help, because I am someone who went through depression. Therapy helped me a lot. So if any of you need that kind of help, I would suggest you to go for it and get help, because that will really, really, really help you improve your quality of life and to be more productive and positive. So I hope that helped. How much ever I tend to move on, few past memories make me worse. Is it easy to forget completely? Memories are very hard to forget, especially when things have happened in the past. But one thing that I'll tell you is that your past is already gone. Yeah. What you have now is today. So if you keep dwelling on what happened before, that person didn't treat me properly, uh, you'll always keep on thinking about that. You'll be always worried. So it's not something that will just go off like that and you can just forget that memory. No. But try with time, it's going to take a lot of time, but with time, you will be able to move on and not completely forget, but it will not affect you so much. The time. So I would say give it time, but ultimately you're going to forget completely in a few years, but give yourself time. Memories take some time to get away from your system, especially if they are very strong ones. So, yeah. Anyone else for questions?
Okay, it looks like we've covered most of the questions. Sarah, is there anything else you would like to share before we wrap up?
All I want to say is that happiness is a journey. So it's not something that's going to come just like that. So be patient with it and try to inculcate the little things that I told you in your day to day life. And trust me, life is going to get better and you're going to feel better in every aspect and be more productive, and your quality of life will also increase. So, yeah. So, I hope you enjoyed the session and I was able to help you. And if you guys want to contact me or talk to me about something which you don't want to put in chat, something personal, you can always talk to me. I have my phone number. Maybe I can put it in the chat box.
Yeah, that'll be great.
You can message me and we can have a chat if something that's private and you don't want to talk about it here. Yeah,
Great, thank you, Sarah.
thank you.
Now over to Tejaswini from the marketing team of Evolve.
Yeah, thank you, Anam. So, good evening to all those participants who are in the session. I really thank you, Sarah, for giving us this wonderful session.
Thank you.
Um, I'm sure all of them would have had a lot of things to take away from the session. One thing I'd like to address here is about the technical issues that our team faced. We weren't able to accommodate all the participants who were requesting to join in. We had around 200 registrations for the session, but then as you can see, there are only 40 participants or so here. Many people were waiting right from 4:50. So, Sarah, I just want to tell you that a lot of people were looking forward for your session. But then I'm really sorry about the technical issues that we faced. So, we couldn't really let them into the session.
Okay.
But then this is from Team Involved. We'll ensure that this doesn't happen in the future, and that's all. And we will not be announcing the winners of the contest because it's not fair to do it when most of them aren't here.
All
That's
right. No
it.
problem.
Thank you, Anam. Over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Tejaswini, and really sorry for the inconvenience faced, and we'll make sure that this doesn't happen the next time. So yeah, one contemplation from my end to all of you is that this session shouldn't be a means to an end, rather a thought-provoking one, wherein we give meaning to our life and also to the lives around us. With everything happening around in this world right now, and we are here still breathing, that is our greatest advantage, that we still have time to right the wrongs of yesterday. It's about realizing that no portion of materialistic items is ever going to suffice us, never going to provide us with the contentment and peace of mind we are searching. It's mere acts of love, kindness, compassion, honesty, and the ability to love for others what we love for ourselves that is going to give us true happiness. It's about time we break out the delusions we have, not get carried away by the illusions of this materialistic world, and embrace who we truly are and stand up for one another and blossom together. Reach out to one another for goodness and well being. Sarah, undoubtedly, just like me, a lot of us would have felt inspired and stimulated from
Thank,
your message to us. It was truly amazing listening to you. Thank you again.
thank you so much for having me.
Moving to the end of the session, I acknowledge the management of Kumaraguru College of Liberal Arts and Science, Coimbatore, the Leadership Council, and the entire team of Evolve for this initiative of lifelong learning. I extend my sincere thanks to our very special guest, Mrs. Sarah Zia Adeel, for accepting our proposal, for connecting with us, and helping us comprehend that true happiness is a consequence of personal effort. Last but not the least, I thank all the participants. We appreciate you being here. Time for some information now. We've posted a feedback form for this session. Please spare a few minutes to provide your valuable suggestions. Also, the registration link for the next exclusive session on the topic Unfolding the Time Trap on the 19th of June 2020. We hope to see you all again and indulge in lifelong learning. Thank you all. Until next time, stay home, stay safe.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.